Welcome back to World of Warships, a game of math and science!
Yeah! Science, bitch!
So today, I just wanted to talk about the importance of the three big achievements you can get in a battle. So we're talking about the Kraken, High Caliber, and Confederate. And the bad thing is, I feel like Kraken kind of overshadows the other two most of the time. So we're just going to kind of talk about those. And yes, we've all seen this play across the screen a few times if you spend any time on YouTube. But it really does take away from the importance of High Caliber and Confederate. So let's break down what each of these actually are. Kraken is simply 5 kills. You can be 1 HP or 100,000 HP on a single ship. So kill one for 1 HP, kill another for 2,000. You know, Kraken does not care how you get Kraken. It's just a flat kill streak. High Caliber, on the other hand, is hit at least 4 ships and cause a total of 30% of the enemy's combined HP pool. So if the enemy has a total of 100,000 HP across all the ships, you need to cause 30,000 damage to receive this achievement by hitting, at least 4 ships. Confederate is hitting at least 6 of the enemy ships and inflict 20% of each ship's total HP. So you knock like 20k off a Yami, 8,000 off a Zal, 10,000 or so from a Hindenburg, and so on for 6 ships. So that's Confederate. None of these achievements actually give you EXP bonuses or modifiers, so you don't get like a 2 times EXP gain for getting a Kraken or anything weird like that. Doing the damage for each shell hit and, receiving the, be it, like 1,030 damage or, for an overpin or a full pin or a citadel hit. That's what actually gives you your EXP. But because Wargaming keeps the numbers kind of locked up and they're not available to the public, we can only get like a rough estimate for the values for each action that we do in the game. And I think that's where everybody kind of gets like things twisted. Everything we're talking about today is kind of an estimated value, so kind of keep that in mind. Now, I've been playing first-person shooters like half my life. Getting kills, frags, whatever you want to call them, they have always been the focus for me instead of just outputting the most amount of damage that I can actually do. And World of Warships is kind of different. You want to do the maximum amount of damage that you can, things that actually help out your team in a team game would be very good to do. So playing for the objective, spotting, defending bases, decapping points, capping points. Those are awarded more than just kills, even though kills are important. The Yami that has 1 HP still has the same amount of firepower as a Yami with 100% HP. So, you want to knock ships out, but it shouldn't be the entire focus of the game. You want to kind of play around all the objectives. Now, there is one achievement which I think really gets overlooked the most, and it's a 4th one. We won't really talk about it today, and that's a Dreadnought. It's pretty valuable if you're doing it right, so you're going to tank 120% of your total HP and survive the battle. So if you're in like an Iowa, I have an Iowa with a stock hull, that means I have to actually take the damage, not just bounce shells or anything like that, for 81,720 total damage over a battle, then win. Now, if I'm playing correctly, this takes the damage off of my cruisers and DDs effectively. Those are shells coming at me. They're not focused to them. That same amount of damage is almost 3 of the stock hull T8, well, now T8 Cleveland. So, that's kind of important, but, unless you're playing up there, you might just end up being like a damage pinata and then kind of get lucky and survive. I mean, it's still important, but that's not what we're really here to talk about today. So how much is the actual reward for getting a kill? That's a little bit hard to explain. EXP is gained in various different ways, but we can just focus on the amount of damage done. But even that number is kind of hard to figure out. Little White Mouse put out a decent chart on the estimated values. Keep in mind that it is still, everything's an estimate. Basically, damage done isn't a flat number. 10k damage done to a DD is different than 10k damage done to Battleship. That damage to EXP reward also scales to what tier you're in, if you're firing at a lower or higher tier than yourself. So what about kills? Well, you get 15% of that ship's total HP as an EXP reward. That's if you do 1 damage and you kill them, you get 15% of their total health as an EXP reward. But the number doesn't scale linearly, so you don't get 15% for every single kill. This number drops with each consecutive one, but the amount of drop is still not known. But Little White Mouse says it like this: rewards do not scale linearly. As an example, if you destroy 1 cruiser, you get the whole pie. 2 destroyed cruisers brings 1 whole pie and 1 more with a bite taken out of it. Should you destroy 3, 2 whole pies will be your reward. Okay, kind of makes sense. It kind of falls off. It tapers off. So based on the information that we have above, it's really hard to place an exact amount on what a Kraken would give you just based on kills if you've done 1 damage per the 5 kills. So we're going to kind of go into the math of it all and see what we can get for the lowest amount that we actually have to do to receive each reward. Okay, so we're going to have a setup here. For high caliber, you're going to do 30% of the total HP of the entire enemy team across at least 4 ships. And because this number does not scale linearly, then the amount of EXP earned is not only limited by the type of ship that you're shooting at. For example, let's say you are in a tier 8 game with no spread. Your Ouija has decided to grant you a major wish. And the enemy has all upgrades, so we're going to base our list off of this. Xinyang at 15,500. Kiev at 16,200. The Kid at 16,700. Megami at 39,100. Cleveland at 36,900. Chappie at 37,000. Charles Martel at 38,000. Edinburgh at 36,400. Amagi 66,300. Bismarck 69,200. North Carolina at 66,000. And the good old Enterprise at 51,400. The total HP of this enemy team in this makeup is 488,700. So we need to do a total damage of 146,610 to get a high caliber. So if we're only shooting at the Amagi, the North Carolina, the Chappie, the Kiev, they have a total of 185,500 hit points. So more than enough for just the achievement. But not if we changed our ship selection of what we're actually shooting at. Going for just the destroyers and 1 cruiser doesn't give us the net amount that we need, even if we 100 to 0 every one of them. So you need to spread out your damage more. Now, in our example, let's say we kill the North Carolina, the Amagi, the Chappie, and the Kiev, but only do 1 HP of damage to each ship. And for this, we're going to forget about any kind of scaling or anything like that. And in this example, we get 15% of the damage done to each for every one of those kills. So for the Amagi, we get 9,945. North Carolina, 9,900. The Chappie, 5,550. The Kiev, 2,430. For a total of 27,825. So that's how much damage that we would potentially receive as each kill. So we still need 1 more for our Kraken, but there's no single ship that we can kill, even if we 100 to 0, to gain the amount needed to give us the same EXP as high caliber. So we can see high caliber being the more rewarding in EXP in this example. So what about Confederate? We use the same ships as above, but because Confederate requires us to actually shoot at 6 and do 20% of each one of those 6, we're going to add in the Enterprise and the Bismarck. They give us a nice fat damage number. So for 20% of each one of those, we'll have to do 10,280 to the Enterprise. For the Bismarck, 13,840. The Moggy, 13,260. The North Carolina, 13,200. The Chappie, 7,400. And the Kiev, 3,240. The total needed is 61,220. So depending on what ships we're shooting at, either small boats or large boats, depending on what our HP pool is, to farm out this number would go up or down. So you're going to have a greater variance in the amount of damage that you actually need to do to get the number needed for Confederate. This number is a little bit over double what it would be to get a Kraken with our 1 HP kills. So in an actual game, not just sniping 1 HP kills, I think that the EXP gains from Confederate and the Kraken would be pretty close to be interchangeable if the kill percentage, like the amount that you get per, was a flat number. But again, we don't know what it is and can only kind of speculate. So in the end, I really do think the high caliber is the biggest reward that you can get in the game. Kraken and Confederate seem like they could be kind of interchangeable depending on how the game played out. But in a team-based game, I believe someone should always shoot for more damage over sniping out kills. But in reality, the best thing you could actually do is aim for all 3, doing as much damage as you can, being team-focused. Those are the things that you should do every single game, time in and time out. And this doesn't even take into account spotting damage, playing kills, capture and defending. All these give you a large amount of EXP. But we're going to kind of cover that in a later video. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope this kind of clears out how all that spread is actually done. And hopefully I didn't make any big mistakes. If I did, please let me know down below. And I'll see you in the next one.